Is a recession coming? What is going on with the stock market? What will tariffs do to the housing market? Doom spending is a real phenomenon, and here's why it's important, especially today. Let's start off by explaining what the heck doom spending is anyway. It basically refers to consumer behavior where people, in the face of economic uncertainty or perceived negative economic events like tariffs, a potential recession, or stock market declines, decide to spend money more quickly or on luxury or non-essential items. It's essentially a reaction to fear or pessimism about the future, where people might splurge now rather than save for an uncertain future. And they think by spending now, they're essentially saving themselves from spending more in the future. So how does doom spending relate to tariffs and the housing market? Tariffs obviously create economic uncertainty because they increase costs for businesses, affect international trade, and they raise prices on goods. So this uncertainty might lead some consumers to feel a little shaky about their financial future. And as a result, people may engage in what we call doom spending, where they buy things now, possibly even homes or goods that they don't necessarily need because they fear that prices will continue to rise, or because they think the economy will get worse and it might be harder to make those purchases in the future. Volatility in the stock market could also trigger doom spending. As people see their investments dip and feel the need to live for today, people might worry that their future financial security is at risk. So they might make larger purchases or spend more in the present, thinking that they won't have the same opportunities in the future. Additionally, in a volatile market, individuals may withdraw money from investments, such as selling stocks, and make significant purchases, including homes or goods, as a way to preserve wealth or value rather than let it sit in the market where it could potentially lose value. The housing market itself could also feel the effects of doom spending. If people feel that home prices are going to continue to rise due to tariff-related price hikes on, let's say, construction materials, they may rush to purchase homes now to get in before it's too late, even if it means stretching their budgets or making more impulsive decisions. This could exacerbate demand and push home prices even higher. On the flip side, if there is a widespread fear of a recession, some buyers might feel compelled to purchase a home before they lose their job security, even if it might not be the most financially sound decision in the long run. But people do react, and sometimes they make bad decisions. So let's bring this back to the Connecticut housing market. Doom spending can be quite relevant here, especially when economic uncertainty affects consumer behavior. So how will we see this doom spending here in our state? First, there could be increased home purchases due to the fear of rising prices. In Connecticut, like other states, doom spending could manifest as a rush to buy houses due to fears that home prices will continue to rise. Given that tariffs have increased the cost of construction materials like lumber and steel, new homes have become more expensive to build. Buyers might think that home prices will keep going up because of these cost pressures, and thus they might purchase sooner than they originally thought they would. And truthfully, if Connecticut buyers fear that prices will keep increasing due to tariffs or other economic factors, they might rush to buy homes now, even if they're financially stretched. This could lead to increased demand in the housing market, particularly in areas where people are already seeing competitive prices and bidding wars. And as I've said in my previous video, Connecticut's housing market is already at the lowest inventories that they've had in years and at peak pricing. So this can make things even worse for home buyers. So another way we could see this impact us is through asset preservation. So during times of economic uncertainty, some people may view real estate as a safer investment compared to stocks, which may be more volatile due to the tariffs or the global economic disruptions. And here in Connecticut, with our mix of urban and suburban areas, this can manifest as a spike in home buying activity as people try to lock in what they see as a safe, long-term asset. They want to do this before prices increase or economic conditions worsen. Areas like Fairfield County or New Haven County, where higher income buyers are active, they could see a surge in home purchases as individuals look to invest in real estate, viewing it as a hedge against the economic uncertainty. And this doom spending might drive up prices in certain areas of the state. Even as other parts of the market might cool off due to cautious buyers, Connecticut could see a rise in prices. Doom spending often involves purchasing non-essential or luxury items, as I stated earlier, and real estate is no exception. In Connecticut, especially in affluent areas like Greenwich or Westport, buyers might rush to purchase luxury homes due to the belief that the cost of these homes will keep rising, particularly if there are constant worries about tariffs making construction costs even higher. High net worth individuals in this state might be more prone to this behavior, buying luxury properties because they usually retain value because they fear the economic conditions will worsen. In general, in the luxury segment, you can see an uptick in buying activity even during times of broader market uncertainty. So think areas like Lower Fairfield County, where there are plenty of extremely wealthy individuals. So another issue is when people engage in doom spending, they often dip into savings or take on more debt, such as using credit cards or increasing their mortgage. And here, with our relatively high cost of living and home prices, this could lead some buyers to overextend themselves by taking on large mortgages or depleting savings for a down payment. If people feel that home prices will continue to rise, let's say because of tariff-induced inflation, they may push themselves into making purchases that might not be financially sound. And people also have FOMO, or fear of missing out. This is a real thing, and many people make irrational decisions due to it. And in this market where home prices are already high, buyers might stretch their budgets further out of fear of missing out on a deal. And this could lead to higher levels of mortgage debt and more aggressive buying behaviors in the short term. Doom spending can also manifest in lower savings rates as consumers focus more on spending rather than saving for the future. If people start spending more impulsively, they are more likely to focus on making big purchases like homes because they believe it'll become more difficult in the future. And as we know, the cost of living here is not cheap. People already struggle to save. But in times of economic uncertainty or tariff-related price hikes, there might be a trend toward fewer people saving for the future. Instead, they might be more inclined to live in the moment and make a big purchase, such as a home or a car or large appliances, before the perceived costs become too high for them to attain these items. And as construction materials become more expensive due to tariffs, builders may increase prices on new homes. And in Connecticut, though we don't have a ton of new home building going on, there still is some, but there is a lot of remodeling because many homes in Connecticut are older and do need to be remodeled. But doom spending can impact remodeling costs as well. People may have a sense of urgency to buy a new home and remodel it before they get priced out of the market. And if buyers feel they might not be able to afford a house later because of rising construction or remodeling costs, they might act impulsively. Again, it's that fear of missing out. So in general, in the housing market, doom spending could lead to a rush in new home purchases, especially in areas with high demand and high rising prices, like here in Connecticut. As tariffs increase the cost of construction or remodeling and affect consumer confidence, many buyers might rush to buy homes out of fear that the prices will continue to rise. And then this behavior can lead to an even more competitive market here with higher home prices and less inventory. I don't know how we can get less inventory here, to be honest. And it can create longer-term challenges if buyers overextend themselves financially or if the market cools off in the wake of a potential economic slowdown. So with this toxic combination of economic uncertainty with the stock market, tariffs, rising home prices, doom spending could lead to a distorted housing market with increased demand driven by fear rather than sound financial decisions. Obviously, nobody has a crystal ball and knows what's going to happen in the future. But if the stock market this past week is any indication, we're in for a bumpy ride. If you're thinking about moving to Connecticut, please reach out. I would love to help you. Or if you're looking for a great realtor in your area, I can also help you with that. I'm connected with great real estate agents all over this country. Please comment below and let me know your take on doom spending. Do you think it's a real phenomenon or not? And in the meantime, have a great day.